The following show contains views and opinions that may not be suitable for all audiences. Audience discretion is advised.
Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to Thespian Talk. I am your host, Gomer the Ranting Thespian, and with me this week is the Cat.
Hello, everyone.
And Michelle.
Hello.
We are all here. We are all back, and oh god, after last week, we've got relatively lighter stuff. Some stuff that is still that can tie into important shit later on, but it's relatively lighter than last week. For those who missed last week, we talked about concentration camps. But before we get into anything like that, Michelle, how was your week?
It's good, but go to Cat because I've got hiccups.
Oh no! I caused hiccups. No!
That's how her week's been. This is the result.
Oh no! So we'll pop to Cat. How has your week been, Cat?
Oh, it was hell. I've been ranting for several weeks about my physical inventory at work and how much that takes a toll out of me, and this was the week where I had to go through all of the variances and try and make sure that our Memphis warehouse isn't completely fucking us over and all kinds of stuff. And so this week itself was hell, but from now on it shouldn't be so bad.
Yay!
So, I actually didn't work at any point during my weekend, which was, amazing, because I've worked for, my last 2 or 3 weekends.
Nice.
3 weekends in a row, I worked on Saturday. And this Saturday, I just, slept in. I didn't get out of bed. I think I slept for, 11 or 12 hours. Because that is what I needed. I haven't needed to catch up on my sleep, and I've just been too stressed to do it.
Yeah.
This weekend or this week was awful, but this weekend and going forward should be a little bit better, especially this week because 4th of July is this week. And that's gonna suck because I literally drive past 10 fireworks stands.
Oh no.
On my way to work. So it's gonna be super obnoxious that Thursday. But we have a day off in the middle of the week, and that's going to make the week go by really fast. And,
there you go.
And then after that's my birthday, and I'm old, so it doesn't really mean that much, but...
That's what, 2 weeks from the day we're recording this, right?
It's my birthday is a week after the 4th of July. My birthday is 7/11, which legit is the easiest birth date to remember.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, I was a little off, but yeah. No. Well, I was off, but I was off with my math.
Yeah. So I'm not really excited about my birthday this year because it's okay, it's on a Thursday. I don't know. There's nothing really exciting about that, but
yeah, it's yay, Thursday!
Woo! Can't do shit with that.
No. I mean, at least
I was maybe I'll take the Friday after my birthday off and just have a 3-day weekend, but I've got okay, so this is really exciting for me, but my niece is coming into town at the end of the month.
Cool. And
I haven't seen my niece since she was 3 years old.
Oh wow.
And now she's 10 or 11. So it's been a long time, and her whole family are coming into town. So I'm really excited to see all the kids and stuff. I don't really like kids, but I love my niece because she's just the cutest. So I want to take a couple of days off around when that happens and go see the sights and stuff.
There you go. Yeah.
This is gonna be a kind of a fun month.
Sweet.
Finally, I love the month of July, even though now we're in the 90s. Now the temperature's up in the 90s and it's unbearably hot now.
Yeah, July for us, our family has some condo timeshare that they take advantage of every other year down right outside Disney World in Kissimmee, Florida. And
I want to go.
Yeah, and the thing is, we don't always go down there just to go to Disney World either, because we also have family down there too. But this year I'm probably going to end up going Like my parents are gonna take like the first couple of days, and then we're gonna switch off, and I'll go down for the rest of the week because my dad's got to be back up here because he's, he's a city commissioner, manager, whatever his label is nowadays. So he's kind of got to be here for an important vote. So I was like, yeah, I can take the rest of the week because I don't have to worry about going across town to any jobs like most of the rest of the family does. So, which is what they normally do, but. And I would love to take people with me, but most everybody is either busy or too far away. No!
No.
But, oh well. But that's not going to happen until after the next show, so. So how are the hiccups, Michelle?
Well, I don't know if you guys picked up on your end, but there's a small chance on my recording there'll be maybe sounds of me hacking and retching and sounding like I'm dying.
Oh no!
So enjoy that. I'm fine now.
Yay!
Basically, it wasn't like normal hiccups. It was like food and drink at the same time, wrong hole hiccups. And you know, sometimes you can deal with hiccups with a fizzy drink and a quick burp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was more things had to come out and clear the ways before. Dinner's fine. I'll eat dinner, but I think I'll have it a lot slower.
Yeah.
So give me a second. I'm gonna have a sip of tea. And then I'll.
A tip of tea.
Oh. It's great. I've got my cup of choice for my my tea is a Coffee Republic mug.
Ooh.
Yeah, we a friend and I, well, me and a couple of friends, we met up for a reason I can't quite remember now, but we on our day out stopped at a Coffee Republic, and I was like, I want one of these mugs. And like the one I actually was using was a plain one. I said, it's like, oh, I can nick it for you. I said, no, I've got to be a branded one. Yeah, it's no point nicking a mug if it hasn't got the brand on it.
There you go.
So we pilfered it, and yeah, I just like the fact that I drink my my tea out of a coffee mug.
Yeah.
Because I'm that British. But to answer your earlier question, I'm fine. Actually, my partner was away for the week, and since I've gone full-time permanent, meant I could have paid holiday, which means essentially I've had the entire week to on my own and the flat to myself, and it's been amazing.
Nice.
He came home late last night, and I say late. He was supposed to be home by 10. He didn't get home till like 1:45. Yeah, a.m.
Damn.
Yeah, 10 p. It was supposed to be home 10 p.m. Got home 1:45 a.m.
Damn.
He was a bear.
But I'm glad. In terms of just my week, is just trying to do my thing. Got the AM2R randomizer run, my first AM2R randomizer run up and going. And if you don't know what AM2R is, it's not ASMR. That's a different thing. But AM2R, another Metroid 2 remake. I did like a full run of that, chopped it up into 9 bits, and I'm putting them up on YouTube for people to enjoy. And there's an obvious JoJo reference in every episode but the last one. But yeah. Oh god.
My wrist hurts.
Huh?
I've been playing. Like I said, I've been playing Twilight Princess all week, and my wrist hurts. I think it's probably from vigorous Wiimote waggling.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, you were talking about your streaming.
Well, not streaming, just posting them up on YouTube. But
yeah.
But yeah, so over the next 2 weeks, the other 3 episodes will go up 3 will go up next week, and then 3 will go up the week that I'm supposed to be down in Kissimmee. So total of 9 episodes. I didn't want to metaphorically blow my load all in 1 week. So
yeah.
So it's like spread them out a little bit. That'll work. And if you're a patron of mine, you can see them all in one fell swoop, and as the big almost 3-hour super chunk, because that's how long it took me. Probably one of the worst times I ever had in that game. But these things happen when you use a randomizer.
Well, for comparison, I'm currently on 54 hours for Twilight Princess, and my average for Breath of the Wild is like 100 and something. I think it stops counting and resets itself after so many hours, doesn't it?
Something like that.
So yeah, no, it might be long for that little puzzly game, but for compared to other games. It's quite short.
Yeah. But yeah, so speaking of video games, there are actually a couple of things I kind of want to bring up because they're just more annoying me, and I was figuring, okay, they should be gone. It's been a few weeks since like E3 has happened, and it's like you'd think they would be gone by now, but no, of course not. The first one that I want to bring up is okay, you both know that Final Fantasy VII is getting a remake, right?
I'm aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you both know, you both have at least some knowledge of like characters and stuff from that particular game, right?
Only what Erin posts.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so for those who don't know, Final Fantasy VII, in terms of characters, there's a character, Tifa Lockhart.
Oh, God.
Yep. Yeah, we're going there. Kat knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I knew we were going to talk about this.
Yes, because oh my God. For those who weren't there and saw the 96, 97 original release, Tifa, she is a brawler, hand-to-hand combat brawler, pugilist, whatever. And she is dressed very sexy. You know, short skirt, tank top, very well endowed. And considering the constraints of the time, they were very jiggly. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Remake comes around. Her boobs are more compacted. You know, like she's wearing a sports bra because you're jumping around, punching and kicking a bunch of monsters. You don't need your tits coming up and smacking you in the face. That would at the very least be very inconvenient, if not actually dangerous in that kind of a situation, which it's sensible. Cue the man babies! Because they all come in, why did they think your website? Why did you do this? Did you try to censor my games? It's like, okay, number one, you don't have a say in her character design. You just don't. All right? Unless they specifically say, hey, what do you think about these? Or, hey, what do you think about this? No, this is a case of, this is the design we're going with, shut your mouth. Or don't buy the game. Which is basically the only thing you really should do. But, you know, in this case, it's the thing you really should do. Is just not buy the damn game. Or games, because it's going to be released in separate parts. But that's a whole nother thing. And it's all these people. And it's mostly guys. There might be women in there, but it's mostly guys. Who sit there and all they really want is just spank bank material. Ignoring the fact that there are literal terabytes of porn out there, both drawn, CG animated, cosplay, of this particular character they could go and look at. Hell, they could even go and have somebody make up like something in fucking Unity or whatever, and you have all of the bouncing butt-kicking action that you want out of a Tifa Lockhart. Square Enix, they're a large-ass corporation. They're trying to make money. And you know what? Like I said, you don't like it, don't buy the damn games. Simple as that. You know, you can complain, I guess. I mean, you do have the freedom to do that, but you look like an idiot. And you can get people like me calling you out on that idiocy and telling you you're an idiot. Because, you know, there are better hills to die on, is what I'm saying here.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's just, no. And I'm only bringing it up because I'm honestly just kind of annoyed with it. It's just, fucking, it's like, their tits. And of course, there's also one thing that I really want to get in and nitpick. They say, oh, she's down to a B cup. Really? Because, see...
Have you met a B cup?
I have! I've dated B cups!
Okay. I was about to ask before you qualified that. Have you met a B cup that is an adult?
Yes!
But generally speaking...
Yeah. Like...
unless you're all very lithe, or like, I think gymnasts tend to be quite small built, don't they?
Yeah.
So, but generally speaking, if you're a B cup, you're probably still a child.
Yeah. But then again, there are B cups who are actual grown-ass women. Some of them even do porn.
Fair play.
Like I think Marie McRae, I think is how you pronounce her last name. She's a porn star. She's got B cups. Like, There is an example if you need a visual example for people. All right. Maybe some of you don't. That's okay. But I've even seen like friends and people that I follow with similar builds to Tifa in this game say, hey, this is I'm big chested. This is what they look like when they're compressed in, and they look pretty much the same. So number one, they're not taking away her big titties. They're just compressed, you fucking idiots. And number two, terabytes of porn, like I said. Go at it. Have fun.
So a couple of things. One, did you check out that link I just put into the green room? Because I thought that was kind of funny.
Oh dear. What did we
and
get?
Two, it's just a Twitter retweet. And two, did you see that sick burn Erin laid on someone about that? Which was it was essentially on the lines of, well, to be fair, they've only seen boobies in cartoons and porn.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that was on fire.
Yeah, he's not wrong. Although, okay, for those who don't know, the link that I was sent, it's a Twitter article, not Twitter article, but Twitter post, with a screen cap. Final Fantasy VII Remake finds middle ground by giving Tifa third average-sized breast. Because, obviously, satire, making fun of these idiots, but still.
It's just brilliant, because the guy who posted it is like, I wrote this article, I made this image, I'm not sorry.
I mean, it's just... do you have anything fresh you want to add to this, Kat? Or...
nothing crazy. There's just there's so much, like you said, there's better hills to die on.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing wrong with giving Tifa a fucking sports bra that would actually make her figure and her occupation manageable simultaneously. But it's this goddamn sense of entitlement is what sickens me so much. That people are so used to being able to masturbate to Tifa's huge uncontrolled breasts that they feel like anything other than less clothing is censorship.
Yeah.
When all it is just taking something that was terribly impractical and making it slightly less impractical, because her outfit still is quite impractical. It's not... Nobody who's actually a fighter would really dress like that. You can, but you wouldn't, is what I'm saying. And just the sense of, I deserve Tifa's tits is just like, wow.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And people are talking about boycotting it because of censorship and stuff like that. This is the age we live in, where anytime some dude who decides that something is slightly less than it used to be in terms of spank material, it just becomes, we're going to boycott this. Jesus Christ.
It's like,
bye.
Yeah.
They don't want characters. They want porn stars. Fuck off. Go watch porn. Seriously, just go watch porn.
Yeah.
If you're here for Final Fantasy, then here's some Final Fantasy. If you're here for porn, please go watch porn.
Yeah.
Also,
and even better, to take it on that porn thing, watch and pay for it, because they gotta eat too.
But isn't the FF series designed for I don't know, I think it's like 13 plus or something? It's like not children, but definitely not adults.
Right.
So, again, but I was going to say, they're not helping the stereotype.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I want it to be like this because this is how she was in the original canon. So, like, no, you're not helping your case.
Just,
like, for whatever case you have, you're not helping it.
Just.
And God forbid you recognize that something is not made specifically for you. Like, this is not a difficult concept, but not everything that comes out has to cater to you specifically. Every girl that I have seen loves Tifa's new design. They love the little bits that they've seen. Every girl I have seen loves it.
Yeah.
Like, every person I have seen is just super excited. And then all the guys are like, where's them titties? And her tits are already huge, guys. They're already huge. If you think that that's a Bcup, it's clear already just by the fact that you're whining about it. You've never seen an actual pair of tits before.
Yep.
But also, you have no idea what women or breasts actually look like, so you probably should not have an opinion on them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just,
not like...
And for the record, I do want to throw my opinion of that outfit. I think it looks all right.
It was cute.
It's all right.
It looks almost exactly the fucking same. It's almost exactly the same. It's like, this is not a revolution happening.
Right. It's all right.
It's similar, but not quite the same, because of the popularity scale rather than, the quality. With the new She-Ra, like, they complain about her new outfit, and, like, it's really cute and it works well in action, and she's actually designed younger, so it makes more sense for her age.
Yeah.
But again, she fights. She's got these shorts on. Again, Erin made a point about until he saw the new pictures, he didn't realize she was actually wearing, cycle shorts or whatever they're calling it. But it's like, it makes sense. It's like, so yeah, the scale, as far as I understand, the scale of fandoms between She-Ra and Final Fantasy are like, there's a big difference there. But the same kind of reaction is like, oh, she looks different now, so I don't like it.
Yeah, and some of those people still want to do the spanking to the She-Ra, even though I think in both continuities She-Ra is under 18, which that makes it a little creepy.
I think Adora in the original was 16, and then She-Ra ages up a little bit. So I think Adora here is like 13, 14, and she ages up to maybe 16, 17.
Yeah.
So physically, She-Ra looks older in the original series.
Yeah. Because the 80s.
Definitely. But yeah, no, I think for me she reads as young because it's we haven't got through all the mystery yet. I don't know if it's supposed to be the same Adora in a different canon or the same canon. She's like a reincarnation or something. They're not quite clear on that yet. So
yeah, I
don't even know if it's actually the same character in a new interpretation or what's happening. But I'm enjoying the heck out of finding out and watching. Have you guys seen the new She-Ra? It is awesome.
I love it so much.
I've seen like an episode or two, and what I've seen so far is pretty good.
It is so good. That's my recommendation, listeners. Watch, if you haven't already, go watch She-Ra and the Princesses of Power.
There you go. But yeah, so there's also another video game, and in my notes I put it in quotes, controversy. This time not as sexually charged, thankfully.
Oh, good.
But it involves the new Pokemon games. So
here we go.
Here we go. Here we
go. They're prepared.
Strap in, kids.
Yeah. So okay, Pokemon Sword and Shield coming for the Switch. For the Switch. Yeah, I said it right. In November 15th. That's when they're being released. I'm looking forward to it. You have Dynamaxing, which means any Pokemon can grow to a huge goddamn kaiju. I want my Kaiju Umbreon, thank you very much. And I will be able to do that. The thing that people are having a problem with and are going apeshit over is the fact that, I don't know, for whatever limitations, maybe graphical limitations, maybe space limitations, not every Pokemon in the Pokedex is going to be transferable to Pokemon Sword and Shield. Generally, from Generation 3 onward, back Ruby and Sapphire onward, you could put every one of your Pokemon into every game, going forward. So, like, let's say you catch a Trico in Pokemon Ruby. That's your starter. You could take that up to Generation 4, 5, 6, and now 7, but you may not be able to take it to Generation 8. Reason being, back then, Generations 3, 4, and 5, you only had to deal with, at most, maybe, I think Generation 5 was up to 600 something Pokemon. Generation 7 put it up to 720, Generation 6 put it to 721, and currently, as of the end of Gen 7, we have 809. Bear in mind, Generation 6 and 7 are 3D models on the 3DS, so that takes up a little bit more memory space. The previous generations were 2D sprites, for reference. So, you're going to take up more space. And, of course, with it being on the 3DS, they're not going to look as sharp as, say, an HD model on the Switch, which is what we're going to get with Sword and Shield. So, Game Freak decided, okay, we're not going to allow just any Pokemon in the National Dex, and it's just any of them that you can find in the in the regional Pokedex for Galar, which is the name of the region in Sword and Shield. And people are just, they started a hashtag, bring back the National Dex. It's like, you guys, the National Dex technically was not in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. You technically didn't have that. So, but at the same time, you also had the ability to bring in any Pokemon. This particular one, the Generation 8 games, the reason why not, again, like I said, it probably has to do with space and the fact that animations are more expressive and you have bigger, the world is bigger and everything else, and you have all these new things that, they want to focus on, and even the designers themselves are like, yeah, we really didn't want to, but we wanted to showcase all of this, and instead of trying to make expressive models for, I think at the end of the day, it's going to be over 1,000 Pokemon, and that could very well be including variants, then, we can take out half of those and still be able to have a manageable sized game, because not everybody gets the cards. You could download them too, and you don't need like a 100 gigabyte game going on your Switch. Most people wouldn't be able to get it without getting a card, So, and that's only if you download it. And even the game packs, there's no telling how much will fit on those. And I'm pretty sure it won't be that big. So I'm pretty sure, I've not heard one way or the other, I'm pretty sure it has to do with memory constraints, size constraints. And if they're proven wrong, then oh well. But you know what? We also going to have an app called Pokemon Home, which basically can store all of your Pokemon that you have caught over the years. Just only some of them won't be able to go to Sword and Shield. That's all it is. And people are complaining about it like they don't have Pokemon Bank full of Pokemon that they never use. Hi. I have a full living dex in my Pokemon Bank. Most of them are not coming out for a while. So, unless I need to like breed or something, but that's a whole different thing. So again, just like with the Final Fantasy VII thing, if you're really that upset about it, just don't buy them. It's really that simple. You don't need to go and try and bully Game Freak into having them put it in there. They may even patch it in later. Who knows? Maybe they'll come out and they'll be like, oh, hey, maybe we could. And just, boom, patch. It's happened before.
That's what DLC's for, kids.
Yeah. And it's just, fucking entitled shits. It's like, grr. I mean, and in terms of me, like, they're not having the full thing, and there's like, okay, I mean, a little disappointed, but okay. I mean, and granted, I will admit all of my favorites are going to be available, so I might be a little biased on that one, just to be clear and fair. But even if they weren't, I think I would still hold a similar opinion. Just with more disappointment.
So, does this mean that we can't have a Kaiju Jigglypuff?
I don't know. Although I have heard rumors that all of the Generation 1 Pokemon will be available.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you could have a Kaiju Jigglypuff.
So, how much of an area could Kaiju Jigglypuff put to sleep? Because that could be a power move.
Oh, I don't know. That would be something worth finding out.
Get on it.
Yeah. But yeah, it ties into a little bit what Kat said also about the Final Fantasy VII quote-unquote controversy. And that is just, you fuckers are being so over-entitled. You're letting it play out and show out, and it's like, really, take a break, step back, enjoy what they give you. Because they don't have to cater to everybody, And they've made it clear that it was not an easy decision for them, So...
But it's not what I want!
Well, then either don't buy it or deal with it, As for me, as soon as I'm able, I'm going to get them. I will pre-order, I think I'm getting Shield in the physical form, so as soon as I'm able. Which, by the way, patreon.com/gomer21wx. Did I just plug my Patreon to try and get it? Yes, I did. Honestly, that's probably the only way I'm going to get money outside of selling sprites through Mel's shop in Portland. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so do y'all have anything you want to add that might fit into this one that isn't necessarily repeating everything like I've been doing?
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, like you said, my thing would be, okay, how many Pokemon are there? All right, nearly 1,000. How much how rendered are they going to be? All right, that's pretty damn detailed. Memory probably going to be the issue. I can't think anything beyond that. Like I said, I probably won't get it because I haven't really played Pokemon since Yellow.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, a pack of Pokemon for each region. What we're talking, $5, maybe $10 to get a whole collection. If you already paid what $50, $60 for the base game to get your favorites, I mean, I probably would pay that to get the whole collection.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, when it comes to like DLC for a Pokemon game, they usually don't charge. So.
Well, there you go then, even better.
Yeah. So any updates they give, it'll be free. They're not EA.
So I'm just going on the DLC that I have dealt with, mostly the Breath of the Wild. Which I had to get twice because I've recently bought a Switch myself because I saw the trailers for Wind Waker. Not Wind Waker. Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Wind Waker's another one I need to finish. And I'm like, there's a sequel. It's only going to be on Switch. I need a Switch now.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought, all right, I might as well get Breath of the Wild and play it again because I was itching to play it again anyway.
Yeah.
I thought, well, we're going to play it again. I might as well do it on the Switch. I'm still debating on that to play it and then redo it on Master Mode or go straight into Master Mode because I have already played it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But because the eShop purchases don't transfer over because of the short version is digital copyright. If you want to know more about it, Google it.
Yeah.
But essentially that's... I mean, I can understand for games you've downloaded to thing and like, you know, if you're selling them again, that's that thing. But if it's tied to eShop, then you should be able to re-download it. But then maybe the Wii U version of the DLC is slightly different to the Switch version, so maybe that's why you have to buy it again. But I don't know. I'm just supposing. But I had some credit left over anyway, so I paid like less than the amount fresh.
There you go.
And I got my console on discount. It was quite funny because I picked it up for a bundle, and then she said, "Oh, the offer's not there anymore." And then someone spoke to me and said, "Oh no, we can do it because you know it was on the shelf. There were several copies on the shelf." So they honoured it, and then it turns out the deal was still in place anyway. But she went to get the console, and she said, "Oh, we haven't got the neon. We've just got these blue and red ones." I didn't say anything at the stop, but I have a UV torch because I have a UV torch, and I checked it. No, they are still neon, so I'm not sure where she got confused by.
Yeah.
Unless it just didn't say neon, but they are neon. They go out lovely on the UV torch. So yeah.
Yeah.
I now have a Switch.
There you go. Yay!
Yeah.
So yeah, anything you want to add, Kat, before we go to our break, or?
I haven't ever cared about Pokemon before. I'm certainly not going to start now.
I admire your honesty.
I've never like been a Pokemon fan. I played Pokemon Go just so that I could actually like understand what the fuck all my friends were doing.
Yeah.
So I know nothing, Jon Snow.
It's okay. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and take our break, and when we come back, we're gonna have the news. See you on the other side. Woo. Hey folks, we'll get back to the show in a moment, but first I want to tell you about Patreon. Patreon is what I use to get around all of the YouTube adpocalypse bullshit, and while I don't have a lot right now, every little bit does help. And if you like what you hear or what you see on any of my videos or podcasts, head on over there. For as little as $1 a month, you can get all of these things early before anybody else does, and you can get them completely ad-free. Yeah, I know YouTube right now is technically ad-free, but at some point, I'm probably going to get big enough to where ads will start coming in, and those can be annoying, so you want to avoid that, right? If you go ahead and go now over to patreon.com/Gomer21XX, leave $1, $5, doesn't matter how much, you can get all of these. Again, you can get them early, and you get them without ads, even when I reach the point on YouTube to where ads can be put on these videos. So it's a win-win. And you can even avoid the ads that go up on the Anchor versions that go out to all of the other websites that are out there. No ads. It's great. So that's patreon.com/Gomer21XX. All right, little 5-minute ranting time. Okay, can we keep this in 5 minutes? Okay. So, this week I have a relatively lighter one than normal. In fact, I try to keep the show lighter in terms of the heavier content, although, as you'll hear, we don't quite escape the heavier content, but we keep it lighter, at least in comparison to last week. And this is no different. I wanted to get to this and get Michelle and Kat's opinions on the main segment, but we kind of ran a little bit short on time. And as you can see, this episode's already running long to begin with. So I figured I'd put it here because all I really want to do is just rant about this. And that is Hulu in particular. Now, for years, I had a subscription to Hulu so I could watch without ads or whatever. Didn't really use it much because all I really used it for was General Hospital, and I keep up with it through other podcasts, but I haven't been able to sit down and watch it. So that, plus the fact that my funds are getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter, I kind of had to let them go. And I'm pretty sure they sent something out when it happened, but you can't just watch stuff on their service for free with ads and everything like you used to be able to. I don't know when they did this, and like I said, I'm pretty sure they sent something out, but discovering this when I tried to do this a couple of days ago as of this recording, not a fun thing. Not a fun thing at all, and it got me to thinking, okay, why do we have streaming services like this, you know? And it wouldn't be a big deal if it was strictly like Netflix, where you can pay for your subscription service, you don't get ads. But here, with Hulu, you pay, I think it's like $5-6. You still have ads, but then you pay $12, you don't have ads, and then you have a bigger package for something else. And while I don't mind the upper tier being there, because hey, some people may want this particular thing. I think it's like live TV through Hulu or whatever, which, okay, whatever. I don't quite need that. But to have a tier where you still get ads even though you're paying for it. And I know some people are like, well, you did that with cable. That's a different thing. And that still doesn't necessarily make even that thing right, because you're still paying for the service. So why would you need extra commercials for it? I mean, in cable, older, more out there, that might be a whole different beast altogether. But for Hulu, especially now that they're owned by Disney, there is no excuse to say, okay, we can put up our content for free. You can have there are ads, which in and of themselves, I don't mind. I don't use ad blocker on Hulu. I don't think I do, at least. And I don't use it on YouTube because there are enough YouTubers out there that rely on that ad revenue, and I'm not going to rob them of that just because I'm tired of seeing certain ads. It's just not going to happen. But if you're going to have a tier of a service that you're going to charge people for, the least you can do, the very least you can do, is say no ads at all, period. Just no. You know, in the streaming service circle of things, you know, and that's all I'm talking about here. Netflix does it. I'm pretty sure most other, I don't honestly, I don't even know how other streaming services do it. All I've got is Netflix and Hulu to compare each other to. But I would say here's how it should be. So saith me. If you're going to have a streaming service, you have that free tier, you have to put up with ads, as long as they're not super intrusive or whatever, or, you know, outright Nazi propaganda, fine. I honestly don't care as much. They could be annoying, but whatever, you know, especially since most of them are skippable. Okay, fine, whatever. You know, because ad revenue, you can pay for it. And Hulu can do so much with their ad revenue. There are a lot of shows on there that people will watch readily on Hulu, that the ad revenue for them will pay for it. Especially when they're backed by Disney. I think that's what really goads me. Because they got those Disney dollars available. Disney can make do with having a free version. They can. So don't even at me on that one. But to have any kind of paid tier where you still have to put up with advertisements like that in a streaming service, and I don't mean advertisements like advertising their own thing. You know, that's one thing. If you're looking at a video and that video has advertisements on it and you're paying for it, that's bullshit. Even porn sites don't do that, and believe me, I know. I have paid for enough to know this. They do not have advertisements on their videos. There are ads on the site for other things, but not on the videos themselves. And that's where it needs to not happen. If you're paying for a streaming service, porn, otherwise, you don't need ads. Not on the videos. And that's my 5 minutes. See y'all next time. And we are back from our break. Hope you guys enjoyed my little segment. Yeah, I did the little segment on Hulu separately from that. 'Cause I wanted to do it on the main one, but time got away from us, as you probably see by the timestamps. But that's okay. As long as we have a good enough flow and everything goes smoothly, hopefully it's not too bad. Then watch, I edit this down, it'll be like an hour 15, and I'll be like, well, shit. So anyways, our first news story this week comes out of New York. A New York school district will hand out improved, quote-unquote, improved versions of the yearbook because a teacher was quoted naming Adolf Hitler as his favorite person in history. On a yearbook page with a blurb called Meet the New Guy on the Block, Jeff Acor, a new history teacher at Whitesville Central School, oh god, in this article, with that name, with this subject matter, oh my god. But he praised German dictator responsible for the Holocaust that executed 6 million Jewish people in World War II. He also did more than that, but we'll keep it simple. According to local news, when asked to name his favorite person in history, Eckhor said, Adolf Hitler, who did many great things for Germany and their youth before the infamous Holocaust. Adolf was ousted and faced many hardships early in life, which a lot of people can relate to. Adolf is arguably the greatest public speaker in the history of the world. Adolf made great strides to make Germany a world superpower, while also basically marginalizing and okay, you see what's going on in America today? That's what Hitler did. There you go. Laurie Sanders, the superintendent of the Whitesville Central School District, told local news that Acor's message was lost. Really? You're gonna okay? Let's see what you have to say. I don't believe he was joking. He really was looking at it through the lens of history and not he wasn't applauding anything he did, she said. It's questions that were asked of him and written down, and he never got to see the entire writing. There were other errors too, Sanders explained. When we read it, we felt that anything that promoted or may be perceived to imply hate, regardless of the intent, does not belong in the yearbook at our school. In a school-wide letter, Sanders wrote that Acor's statement was incomplete and mistakenly taken out of context. I don't think that's the case! The yearbook committee will publish a more accurate and complete quote from the teacher. Sanders told local newspaper that after direct investigation, no action has been taken. Your favorite person in history is literally Hitler. Holy whitewashing Batman. That's pretty much what he's doing. It's like, yeah, he did this and he did all this. He did, pointing out the positives while leaving out the fact that to get those positives, there's a whole bunch of negative shit going on. There's so many people being marginalized and already encouraged, whether directly or indirectly, to attack them and take them out. And I mean that in the kill sense. You had that all right before what we tend to refer to in a very simplistic term as the Holocaust. That was all part of the build-up, you stupid fucker. And you are whitewashing the entire goddamn thing, you idiot. Jeff Acor, you are an idiot. Yes, you are a historian. You should know better than this. You should know better. You stupid fucking honky. Kat, take it away.
Okay, so there are ways to talk about Hitler and Hitler's impact without praising Hitler. I mean, it's possible. I'm saying It's possible.
Yeah.
Plenty of people do it all the time. You can talk about the reality of Hitler and, was Hitler a great public speaker? Yes. Was Hitler arguably the greatest public speaker in history, which no matter way you look at it is praise? Debatable at best. Mm-hmm. It would take quite a lot of digging throughout the whole of human history to determine who was the best public speaker of all of human history. We don't need to settle on this is a person who was a public speaker and we know he was really good at it, so ergo he was the best at it. Fuck's sake. And to say that Hitler did a lot of good things for Germany and for the German people. Like, stop praising this man.
Yeah.
Like, you can talk about the impacts of a dictator who ordered the deaths of millions of people without praising him. You can talk about it with a way that is unbiased. Like, it's possible, but this is not unbiased. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, just and I know that his thing maybe to humanize him a little bit, which some people are like, oh, why are you humanizing him? I might empathize with him. Humanizing somebody doesn't necessarily mean you empathize with him. I know good and well Hitler was a goddamn human being. I still, if he was here in front of my face, I would kick him in the balls. And then probably smash his face into the ground. Doesn't make him any less human. He's a piece of shit, but still human.
It's also, like, not to get too far into the weeds here, but, like, it's also saying that, oh, Hitler did all of this great stuff for Germany without recognizing that there were other things happening besides just Hitler.
Yeah.
Like, there are forces at play during World War II besides just Hitler. Hitler wasn't, like, the only person who was in charge of every single thing. Other things happened to the lead up to the rise of Hitler, the Hitler Youth. There was a lot of other players involved. It's not like he did everything himself and is therefore worthy of praise. Like, stop. Just stop.
Yeah. That's why we're taught, or at least I hope we're still taught this, when we talk about World War II, that it's not just Hitler. That's why they have the term Axis powers, which I think was Germany, Italy, and Japan, wasn't it? At least
Japan latterly. Russia, they fucked up the relationship with Russia. Poland by default. France would have been an ally, but they got taken over. I mean, certainly Germany and Italy are the major players.
Yeah.
My partner knows way more about this than I do.
Right.
He's in bed at the moment. But yeah, I mean, Austria by default. Obviously, Switzerland was neutral. And then obviously, you had the Britain, America, France, like, for as much as they could. And then obviously the Anzacs, Australia and New Zealand. And then eventually America.
Yeah. Once we got bombed at Pearl Harbor. Because otherwise, we didn't really give a shit. We even turned away refugees back then. People tend to not go for that one because it doesn't make America look good. But fuck it. Yeah. We'll take America warts and all. All right?
Yeah.
You take it all, or you take none of it.
I'm not dissing. I'm just like, it's always the common thing. Like, oh, we saved your asses. You should be grateful for us forever. Like, yeah, you saved your asses eventually.
Yeah. My work here is done, but you didn't do anything.
Eddie Izzard is like, you guys have been watching cowboy movies. The cavalry always comes in at the last minute.
Yeah. Isn't that like a joke on like Tuxedo Mask too?
Possibly, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, absolutely. Tuxedo Mask comes in to save Sailor Moon, throws one little rose, gives an inspiring speech, and then leaves. But you didn't do anything.
Pretty much. See, I don't even watch Sailor Moon, and I understand that reference. Granted, it helps that my girlfriend is a fan of Sailor Moon, and as is Kat, as is quite a few people throughout my lifetime. So osmosis, baby.
Yeah, baby.
But yeah, so this teacher, fuck this guy. He's an idiot.
The reason I said, "Oh, for God's sake," is because I thought they said they were going to send an edited version of the book, that they were going to take out that quote, not add an extended version of it.
Because that's going to help.
Yeah.
Like,
but
how is that supposed to help? We got to put context with it.
Yeah, no. I have a book literally in my hand right now called Speeches That Changed the World. And as far as I can tell, it's chronological.
Yeah.
So to Kat's point about digging through the entirety of history for great orators, in order that I'm reading them, we've got Moses, Jesus of Nazareth, Muhammad, St. Francis of Assisi, Queen Elizabeth I, King Charles I, Oliver Cromwell, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Napoleon Bonaparte, Abraham Lincoln, Emmeline Pankhurst, Mary Curie, Mahatma Gandhi, Vlad Ilyich Lenin, Woodrow Wilson, Clarence Darrow, Neville Chamberlain, then Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Winston Churchill, a couple of Churchill speeches. Actually, a couple of Hitler speeches, a couple of Churchill speeches. Everyone else seems to so far only had one each. Valiant Molotov, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Charles de Gaulle, General George S. Patton Jr., Emperor Hirohito. Sorry, I screwed that one up. Another name that I can't pronounce. Nehru. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will wake to life and freedom. Okay, that was 1947. Oppenheimer, General Douglas MacArthur, Nelson Mandela, Eamon de Vallery, John F. Kennedy. He's got 2 speeches in here. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Shirley Chisholm, Pierre Trudeau, Golda Meir, Richard M. Nixon, Indira Gandhi, Chaim Herzog, Mother Teresa, Pope John Paul II, Ronald Reagan, Mikhail Gorbachev, F.W.D. Clerk, Vaclav Havel, El Weasel, and George W. Bush.
Wait, they put W in there?
He's right at the end. Let me just get the publishing date for this book. First published 2005.
Okay. Even still, I was like, I'm kind of surprised. Like, really?
So
he was not a good public speaker.
No.
But he did have impactful,
to defend a great
at
nation
least one or two
against
impactful
restoration.
speeches.
Yeah, this is the September 11th speech.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. This is speeches that changed the world.
Okay. Okay. It's just...
Also, whether or not you want to decide that, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad are real historical figures, I'm assuming from far as Theseus actually was a real person.
Yeah.
These are speeches that changed the world. So yeah, whilst Hitler is on that list, there's a long list.
Yeah. And I found a trend that was like, it started out less white and it got whiter as it got to the 1800s.
I was going to say, this is a very Western-centric list. There's some Indian names in there, but I didn't hear any, Eastern Asian names in there. Didn't hear any, not a whole lot of African names in there.
Yeah.
South Mandela.
Yeah, not a whole lot outside of Mandela.
Yeah.
No.
Mandela, now that guy knew what the fuck he was doing with oration.
Yeah, which speech was it? I am the first accused from 20th of April 1964 and free at last 2nd of May 94. And also this book's quite neat. It does come with a CD containing 21 of the speeches. I haven't listened to it yet, but yeah, they've actually recorded it. So whether or not they've actually got Hitler speaking German or it's a translation, I'm not sure because again I haven't listened to it. Yeah. But yeah, there's actually a CD of the speech as well to listen to. So yes, there's a joke. A young comedian I saw at the Fringe a few years back when I was there. It was when W was in office, and saying about everyone thinks he's a great speaker, he's great orator. I said no. Hitler was a great speaker, and he goes on about how he was, he speaks German, so he was listening to the speech, and by the end of it, he was completely G'd up. Yes, fucking yes, let's kill the Jews. I'm Jewish. That is a charismatic speech. That is a charismatic speaker. You know who else is kind of charismatic and got people, on his side? Isn't David Koresh was supposed to be a very charismatic man and spoke very well? And probably a few other cult leaders that could be considered to be good orators. I know I dissed on him earlier when we were off air, but Pastor Stephen Anderson, for as much vitriol as he spews, he does spew it in a very articulate way.
Yeah.
Does that mean we should venerate him as a great speaker?
But yeah, so... But
Sorry,
yes.
Long tangent again.
It's alright. Speaking of Europeans who want to get people killed, we're going to go to Spain.
Okay.
For once. Wow. A Spanish mother is accused of conspiring with her daughter and the daughter's boyfriend to murder her partner, and then reporting the plan to police.
Okay.
Officers say the mother, 52, and daughter, 20, went to police to accuse the boyfriend, the daughter's boyfriend, of fraud after he failed to carry out the killing. It is alleged that they gave him 7,000 euros, about 6,720 pounds, to hire a hitman to kill the mother's partner and sell his organs.
Oh, for God's sake.
Just, the fuck?
That's a whole new angle to this. This is brand new information.
Yes! All three were arrested for the plot. Police sources, quoted by Spanish media, say the plotters, all Spanish, signed a contract for the hit in March, but weeks passed and finally the mother and daughter reported the boyfriend to police on June 14th. The boyfriend, 29, claimed to be in Spain's CNI intelligence service and had fake documents to that effect. Police say he had assured the mother and daughter that he could hire a colleague to carry out the hit. In a further twist, the daughter alleged that her mother's partner had defrauded them repeatedly to the tune of 60,000 euros in total, the sum they hoped to get back by selling his organs. The mother's partner is reported to be safe and in good health. Spain's FA News agency reports that among the boyfriend's fake documents was a CV in which he claimed to be a lieutenant colonel in the CNI, skilled with firearms and martial arts, trained in targeted killings and interrogations, and expert in foreign languages, including Bengali and Hawaiian. The three do not have police records, but now the police are also checking to see if the boyfriend committed any previous fraud, posing as a CNI agent. So, number one. I'm going to tie it into a JoJo plotline because I've been reading through the manga version. They haven't quite caught up to this one in the anime yet, but they will soon, like within a year or two, I bet you. There's a woman who's stand named Marilyn Manson who oversees betting, basically, and makes sure you pay up. If you're short whatever you owe, the damn thing will take your organs. You know, for the value that they would get for it on the black market. Like one character got her liver taken. You know. Yeah.
I was going to say, this is definitely a musical.
Well, you know, they should make a true musical for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. There you go. I mean, there are some like fan stuff. Like they would take like JoJo characters and Disneyfy, match them to Disney songs and have them sing in character. Like,
that's kind of neat.
Yeah, changing the lyrics to like fit the actual characters or what have you. There's one for the main characters and one for the villains. So
I've seen that for other fandoms. That is one that you have to know the fandom. I've seen it for ones I do understand, and yeah, done well. It can be really, really either very funny or very effective, depending on what you're going for.
Yeah, but okay, but now to take it back to this, it's like, Jeebus, 60,000. Okay, I want to know what makes them think that the partner had defrauded them, and even so, okay. Let's allow this, that, okay, the partner did defraud them and he was a piece of shit for doing it. Okay, we'll allow this for the sake of this argument. What makes you think carrying out a hit and selling his organs on the black market was a good idea? I mean, I'm pretty sure you could sue his ass off even in Spain.
We're gonna have to go to... So, we have to dust off the old name. Hire the boyfriend, plan a plot, question mark, profit?
Yeah, it's just what you know, and then and okay, there's a reason why, and this is a little bit heavier thing to tie it to, but it still takes effect. There's a reason why when somebody sadly abuses a prostitute or other sex worker, I should keep it at sex worker, they don't necessarily go to the cops, because the cops ain't going to help, because they're technically, or at least in most parts of this country, they're technically doing something illegal too. Even though they're doing it because they need the money, they can't get work any other way, or what have you. You know, they can't go to the cops because the cops will arrest them too, and whoever abused them might go free. So there's a reason why there's a reason why. Similarly, these idiots, you know, this mother and daughter and the boyfriend, that's the reason why you don't go to the police when the boyfriend does not kill the fucker as fast as you want him to. This is not a drive-through hitman restaurant you're doing here. All right? You know, you can't expect him to just go and have him killed within a fortnight. You just can't.
Unless you're hiring John Wick.
Yeah. In which case, well then, you know, make sure that, if you want to get it done faster, have the Mark kick a puppy.
Yeah.
That's all I know of that franchise, but I'm running with it.
Oh, it's amazing. I
So
still
I've
haven't
heard.
seen part 3 yet, but...
Oh, but yeah. So yeah, Kat, what do you have to say about this?
There are a lot of steps to dealing with your, not marital necessarily, but your relationship problems. Therapy. When you're defrauded, maybe go to the police. There's a lot of steps, is what I'm saying, before you hire a hitman. Hitman is like probably one of your last steps, I would say.
Yeah.
Before, there's a lot of stuff you can do. But certainly, if your hitman doesn't come through, don't fucking tell the cops about it. Because conspiring to kill someone is a crime. Paying someone to kill someone is a crime. You're gonna go to jail, you stupid idiot. I feel like this is one for the Darwin Awards. Just like, I don't know if there's a category of idiot criminals on the Darwin Awards.
Maybe ignoble.
Yeah.
Yes, just something, that just, wow. If this story had been out of Florida, I would have believed it.
Yeah,
Like,
I would have too.
I wouldn't be so incredulous of like, how can anybody be this stupid? If we'd have said this was from Florida, we'd have been like, oh, well, that makes sense, and then moved on with our day.
Just, wow.
So just for reference, I have a converter on my phone, and the 7,000 euros is 7,952 USD, and the 60 is 68,167 USD, or 174. It's a live update every few seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically you're looking at about close to 8,000 USD or close to 70,000 USD, depending on the day's exchange.
So yeah, that's a lot of money.
It's a big chunk of change. Yeah, even in English, it's slightly less. In sterling, it's like 53,000. Still a big chunk of change.
Yeah. Just
and we're throwing out numbers, but it is still the same amount of money. Just wherever you are, it's the numbers are different, but technically it's the same amount.
Mm-hmm.
I just tricked myself out by saying that.
that happens though.
It's true. It's not. Yeah. So, but yeah, So the dude done you wrong. Like we've discussed, there are probably better paths to take. But again, I don't know much about the Spanish organ, like just the general how the market is.
I should hope not.
Yeah.
No, I just mean generally.
I would be concerned if you knew about what the organ market is like in Spain.
I just meant in terms of actual legal medical supply and demand. Their need,
right.
How their needs for the patients are as a legal thing to a black. I mean, I suppose a black market for anything is going to be profitable because there's always going to be someone. If there's a black market for it, somebody wants it.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be a profit in a black market, but how profitable and how they jump to that being the thing that they could do, like, you gotta think they already had an in.
Yeah.
There is a lot to this story.
Yeah, just, oh god. So, but at the end of the day, those three are idiots. I'm glad they failed, and I'm glad they're going bye-bye into
I
the
truly
prison.
hope none of that the younger generation has not reproduced yet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're gonna think if this guy did do them the dirty, then I hope whatever justice he has coming to him does come to him. But then again, I hope the other three also have justice dealt to them because they also done fucked up.
Yeah.
They done fucked up.
Yeah. Speaking of which, going to Mount Holly, North Carolina, where a man has filed a federal lawsuit against Hardee's, alleging the restaurant chain's Belmont location deprived him of his civil rights by putting too few hash rounds on his plate. Tommy Martin, who is black, believes his skin color led him to being served less of the potato-based side item. I was about to say potato side-based item. I don't know where that came from. but served less than is typical on the restaurant's gravy breakfast platter. Restaurant's website appears to show about a dozen hash browns on the meal. That is going very deep and specific on it. But, hey, that's what took place, Martin said from his home Friday when asked whether the May 30th, 2018 incident had to do with his race. Martin said he left the restaurant teary-eyed and reported the incident to Belmont police. I would have went straight to corporate first, but, you do what you do. All right. According to the lawsuit, the cashier tried to correct the issue before a manager told him that's what you get. The incident made him feel stupid and like no one in here is going to stand up for you, the lawsuit said. He claims the event violated the 14th Amendment, which deals with civil rights. He said it also gave him cibophobia, a fear of food. Eating in public is a no-no, he wrote in the lawsuit, which was handwritten and filed at the U.S. District Court in Charlotte. He said a manager gave him a refund of his purchase. He wants a jury to decide his case. Got home with a tear in my eye, the lawsuit said. I've got to do something. Representatives from Hardee's couldn't be reached for comment. Now, on the one hand, this lawsuit feels like it shouldn't necessarily have to go this far. I feel like, based on what was written, I feel like some steps were missed. I think it was like the previous story. Some steps were missed. And you go from manager being snotty to going to the police and then filing lawsuit. Which, the manager was shitty and should be reprimanded, if not fired for it. Especially when the cashier is trying their damnedest to help. It's like, yeah, okay, we shorted you a little bit. All right, And how much for 5-6 more hash browns? How much do those cost? For 5 or 6 straight out of the thing. Like what, 50 cents? Come on. That would not have been a thing. And I have a feeling, again, based only on what I'm seeing, if the cashier had actually went and done that, no problem. If they, that would not have been an issue. Violation of the 14th Amendment, which deals with civil rights. It's not the government doing it. But at the same time, it's like, I can see where he's coming from on that one. But at the same time, it's like, and bear in mind, I'm just dumbass white honky here. So take with a big grain of salt. I probably wouldn't have gone that way. But I'm not going to. Point is, this guy who's filed the lawsuit, I'm not going to call him an idiot for it. Because everybody deals with things differently. If it had been some stupid white guy that thinks he's entitled to everything and made a lot more of an ass of himself, then that would get my ire. But this guy, he seems like, okay, he's taking it hard. He's doing a thing that, again, stupid white guy here, position of privilege. I wouldn't have gone this route, but, maybe he felt that a different route would not have done anything for him. That he had to go higher to get something done. At the very least, to show them that they can't, that particular manager can't get away with mouthing off to the fucking customer. That's all based on that. So, but that's just me. Michelle, what do you have on this one?
Well, because it said about 12, like 12? That sounds a lot. And I googled ImageJet and it, because I was going on hash browns, like the triangle things.
Yeah.
And these do seem a lot smaller.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to an older show where we were talking about the donuts, and the fact it's a Hardee's, which we don't have, but I have to presume because it is a known franchise, they probably do have a company standard that each meal should look like this. If there's a countable item, like a portion of chips or beans or whatever, you're not going to count every individual one. But if it's something that is countable, like pieces of bacon or a couple of sausages or these hash browns, it's not going to take an extra couple of seconds to count out to make sure you're meeting the company standard.
Yeah.
So if there is a company standard, and like I said, again, it's a big known company, I would presume there is a book somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's obviously, excuse me, I don't think you've met the standard. Is normally I get more than this, or it looks like there's more in the picture. Can we please sort it out? That really, really, yes, that should have been the beginning end. Even if there isn't a book, that should have been the beginning end of it.
Yeah.
I don't think necessarily bringing the police into it is necessary. That could be an escalation, but again, we don't know how he was spoken to. It could be like, look, sorry sir, we've run out, or we don't have them, or we can't sell these now. And any of that could have been taken a little bit to heart, perhaps. But if he was like more vitriolic and more saying, Paul, we ain't serving you extra, you've got what you got, so eat them.
Yeah.
Then yeah, you can see how it could take. I wouldn't call the. My first thing again would be to go to corporate first.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that's all I can really say about it. He probably shouldn't have. I don't think it's a police issue. I don't think it's a jury issue.
Right.
But if there's a book, and again, if it is going to go to trial, and there is a book that says, well, actually, yeah, here's the company standard. Again, do we know that if he took a picture of the plate to say that he to prove that he got less than standard? Because otherwise, he doesn't have a case anyway.
Yeah. I didn't see it in the original article, but I also kind of just, I do glance over these stories and go through them a bit. And when I put them in our file, pictures don't necessarily go with them unless it's really notable. But if you can find it online too. I got it from the fayobserver.com. So if you guys want to find that as well, for those of you guys out there.
I mean, even if he doesn't necessarily have his own, like a picture of, in the article, is there any way that confirmed he took a picture of the meal?
Yeah.
To say this is not what I should have had.
Right.
But yeah, if there's a company standard, then he should have gotten the company standard. And if they weren't going to give him the company standard, then they should have dealt with that in a more. I will say, when I googled hash rounds, the top two stories are this: man sues North Carolina Hardee's for racial discrimination over hash browns. That's the takeout 2 days ago.
Oh, wow.
Man sues Hardee's after claiming lack of hash browns violated civil rights. New York Daily News 1 day ago. So it's still like top stories on Google here.
Yeah. So who knows? He'll probably pop up there.
Literally, I searched hash rounds because I wanted to know what they look like, and this story is a top story.
Yeah. Sounds about right. And something I do want to reiterate, when I was going on my part, the manager did give him a refund of his purchase, but at the same time, again, I want to note that because I don't want somebody to come back later and be like, well, he gave him a refund. What more do you want? Well, yeah, that's all well and good, but the manager still shouldn't have had the attitude to begin with. The manager should have been like, okay, we'll fix it or what have you.
Wouldn't it have been cheaper to give him the extra hashes than to give him the refund?
Yeah, you would think, but because at the end of the day, the refund is going to cost them. Now, granted, not by much. It's going to cost the company more money than just giving them a few extra hash rounds. And even if and I know somebody's going to be like, well, what if he's trying to scam them or whatever? It's a few hash rounds. I think the company will survive that, even if it is a scam. It doesn't matter. It does not hurt to give a few extra hash rounds. And the fact that it had to go this far, I don't like it, but that's what this guy feels he needs to do. I'm not going to like I said, I'm not going to shame this customer for it. Not intentionally, at least. And if I come across as that way, I do apologize. Kat, what do you have to say?
Oh gosh, let's see. This is another one of these things where it's like, okay, is this really the hill you want to die on?
Yeah.
For both parties, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like, without having been there and hearing the tone of both parties, I can't say whether or not I think perhaps this customer was being belligerent.
Yeah.
And not understanding how fast food works, or if the manager was just fed up and being an asshole. I wasn't there. I can't see.
Right.
But there's no way, I think, there's no way this should go to a trial or be seen in front of a jury. I think any judge is going to throw it out because they offered this dude a refund. The Hardee's, it was Hardee's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Hardee's looks like they did, that they placated the customer monetarily. But the customer, if he genuinely feels like he was the victim of racism, then yeah, of course, just getting a refund isn't going to be good enough.
Yeah.
You know, the trauma of everyday microaggressions and stuff like that, you know, that's pretty significant. Now, would I believe that, you know, not getting enough hash browns at a Hardee's is enough to cause a fear of eating out? No, I don't believe that. I mean, it might be true, but I think, one, that would be a very difficult thing to prove in court. And then two, it just seems kind of unrealistic. If I were going for an angle, I wouldn't go with that one.
Yeah.
It seems a little over the top. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying I wouldn't. If I were on a jury, I would have a hard time buying it.
Yeah.
This sounds like a pre-known anxiety disorder. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, overall, this is a situation that should never have happened. I'm definitely not one of those people who's like, well, the customer's always right. I definitely don't even want to look at people. If I ever had to work fast food, I would just, like, end myself, because I do not want to deal with people. I do not want to deal with the public and customers. Entitled people and stuff like that.
But customer service is fun.
I worked retail for over 5 years, and every day was some new entitled a-hole who, well, you have this on your website. Why don't you have it exactly like it's on the website here in your store? Like, you know, if I had to deal with one more person like that, it was going to be the end of me. But yeah, I definitely am. I'm never wholly on the customer side or on the man's side, because managers and stuff, they're the man. You can't really trust them. They're the man.
Yeah. But yeah, so that is one hell of a thing. So, but now we brought up Florida a little bit. We mentioned Florida a little bit earlier, but now we're actually going to go there for the last few stories, actually.
God.
First one out of Florida. A combination of cocaine and toxic pufferfish liver sent a Florida man to the emergency room, according to a new case report. The liver from a pufferfish, also known as fugu, is considered a delicacy in Japan. But eating it is risky, as the fish's liver contains a high concentration of a deadly poison known as tetrodotoxin, or TTX, which causes paralysis if ingested. Pufferfish is something that you don't want to just catch and eat, said Dr. Zane Horowitz, medical director at the Oregon Poison Center at Oregon Health Science University, who was not involved with the man's case. There are chefs in Japan who go through years of training on how to properly prepare this so that they don't kill their customers. Yeah. TTX is 1,200 times more toxic than cyanide. Far less than a teaspoon of it can kill a person. Once ingested, TTX blocks voltage-gated sodium channels in certain nerve cells. When these nerve cells are blocked, muscles can't contract. Symptoms of TTX poisoning range from tingling sensations, numbness, dizziness, and nausea to muscle weakness, trouble breathing, paralysis, and death. In other words, it'll fuck your shit up. Because there's no antidote to TTX, doctors often place their patients on ventilators to help them breathe until the body excretes the poison. Yeah. The 43-year-old man's case was more complex than a typical fugu eater's, however. Over the past few days, he had ingested cocaine and eaten canned foods, which made his physicians wonder whether foodborne botulism was at play too.
Oh no, botulism.
The man had high blood pressure, possibly from his cocaine use, or just from living in America, and chronic kidney disease, the doctors noted. When he came to the ER, the man was not in good shape. No shit! He was throwing up, had weakness and difficulty speaking, and said that he had stomach pain, tearing chest pain, and numb legs. The man's grandmother, who had also nibbled on the pufferfish, came with him to the hospital, but because her fugu portion had been smaller, she had fewer symptoms, dizziness and leg weakness, the doctor said. Healthcare workers immediately gave the man medication to lower his blood pressure and intubated him so that he would be able to breathe if the TTX paralyzed his breathing muscles. In case he had botulism, they also gave him botulinum antitoxin, the doctors reported. The man received medication that has been shown to help other people who had eaten bad fugu. However, his recovery wasn't straightforward. While in the intensive care unit, the patient developed pneumonia and his kidney problems flared, requiring him to go on dialysis.
Yowza.
Yeah, it's just... Oh my god. And at the end of all this, he still has to remain on dialysis. After all this. The guy turned out to be okay, except for the dialysis. Just, oh my god. Like, I'm glad the dude's okay. I'm glad he pulled through. And I'm glad his grandmother pulled through. But do your goddamn research. There's a reason why, like I said, don't just go catch and eat the damn thing. I don't even eat pufferfish in Minecraft, let alone in reality. Just no. And you add cocaine on top of that? Oh my god.
Don't do drugs, kids. Just
No.
don't do cocaine. Don't do cocaine. It's a really great way to start your life.
Yeah.
Start by not doing cocaine.
Yeah.
And then also don't eat puffer fish unless it's from a professionally trained cook, because that shit will kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just goddamn, man. Let that.
How stupid do you have to be? That stupid.
Yeah. Let that be a lesson to everybody. Don't eat the damn pufferfish. Just in general.
Didn't we learn this 30 years ago from The Simpsons?
That's what I thought, but apparently they never saw that episode.
Also, is the implication that he just found a pufferfish, or was it like a bad restaurant? Because if Nana got ill as well, then that must be a bad cut, like a bad preparation. But it just says you don't want to catch any. It doesn't say he did.
Yeah, it doesn't say one way or the other whether it was from a restaurant or whether he just caught it wild. But
yeah.
But still, it's just gah.
I mean, the fact that the grandma got it as well is either they went and got it their own or bad prep.
Yeah.
Because one would assume if it was just because of the drugs, then he could just had a bad reaction in a good restaurant and grandmother would have been perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
But they both got sick.
Yeah.
Again, there are steps missing.
Yeah. It's like, dude, just don't do it.
Legitimately, there probably aren't a lot of places that serve fugu in America.
Yeah.
Like, there probably aren't that many specifically for fugu.
Right.
Like in Japan, when it wasn't like, as far as I could tell, that wasn't like, oh, this restaurant's, you can order that here. It was like a restaurant that was dedicated to that.
Wow.
And that's how you knew that the chefs were good, because that was their main, the dish that they were known for. You could go to a restaurant that eel was in every dish.
Yeah.
Or, so my friends and I lived not too far from a fugu restaurant, and we were like, I'm never doing it, but it's good to know that that's what they do, is that's all they serve is fugu, and that's how you know they're the best at it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we're all pretty much in agreement on this one. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Especially if you're also doing cocaine.
Yeah.
But also out of Florida, we recently, the governor just recently signed the texting and driving bill, which basically requires drivers to limit the uses of devices to like hands-free only while driving. But they also list some exceptions. And this is just kind of more of a PSA for people who are going to be driving in Florida. Not that I expect anybody here to be texting and driving at the same time, which, that's dangerous on its own. But if you're going through Florida and you want to know, are there exceptions to this? What about at a red light? What about at a stop sign? Blah, 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 blah. Well, here are your exceptions. Red lights. Yeah. Though it's not recommended, you're technically allowed to text at a red light because your car is stopped. Now, if you're in a school or work zone, you're still not allowed to pick up your phone at all, which means speak-to-text functions are not allowed. Which, that seems kind of weird, considering you can wear a headset and just press the button, but oh well. I'm not going to argue semantics on that one. I normally don't worry about it anyway. Text while in traffic. No. Traffic is all too common in Central Florida. Oh, God, yes it is. And across major cities in the state. Even if you're in bumper-to-bumper traffic, you're not allowed to text. That's because your car is ready to drive off and you should not be distracted. Yeah. I can see that. See, text at a stop sign. Now, they say no, but technically you can, but you're not supposed to be stopped for long. It's not recommended, although you could probably argue your case. Just be safe and keep the phone down. Select a song. Yes! You're free to adjust your road trip playlist behind the wheel. Selecting a song is legal, but not in hands-free zones. So you're going to have to sit through a tune while driving through school or work zones. Use the GPS. Yes, law enforcement agencies prefer for any navigational systems to be mounted if you need the visual representation. Under the law, Bluetooth is still allowed and also preferred. You cannot have a navigational device in your hand in, say it with me now, a school or work zone. Use social media, play games on your phone. Both of them are no. I don't think I need to explain why. Receive a text. Yes, but you can't necessarily send them in most cases. I mean, you can't be penalized for receiving a message while you're driving or glancing at your phone when you receive one unless you're in a hands-free zone. And to give a little bit of context, at least for me personally, I always have mine mounted. Comes from driving a truck for a long time, so you have to have the mounts. I always have a heads-up display, so like text comes in, boom, I can like glance at it a little bit, and that's fine. That's where it's legal. So let's see, and finally, answer a phone call. Yeah, of course. Again, unless you're in a hands-free zone. So that's your PSA for all of this. At least in Florida, I'm pretty sure it's also similar in other states as well. Now, starting the day this goes up, it goes up July 1st. Officers can actually start citing drivers, although some law enforcement agencies are going to observe a grace period and hand out warnings until 2020. But that also depends on the agency. So, like, you could be warned here in Graceville, but you could go to nearby Chipley, the next county over, and they'll just ticket you right off the bat, for example. So, it just depends on where you are. But in any case, be safe. Don't text and drive. Just don't. And if you absolutely have to mess with your phone, pull off. Like if it's more than just like switching a song or whatever, And even then, a lot of times there are a lot of cars nowadays. If you're able to get like some of the newer ones, they have the things on the steering wheel. You can just press up, down, whatever. Yeah. So you have that on your hand in hand too. Either of y'all have any thoughts you want to add to this one?
I have a question.
Okay.
The regarding bumper to bumper traffic.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a driver.
Right.
I've been in traffic jams as a passenger, but I'm not a driver. If the traffic is that bad, and especially if you're going to somewhere, a quick text say stuck in traffic, going to be late, that would just seem like a thing that people would want to do. And the only reason I could think of texting or want to have that immediate text in a traffic jam is I'm going to be late. Here's why.
Yeah.
And if it's that bad, if it's bumper to bumper, if you're at a dead stop, why would that necessarily be bad just to say, gonna be late, stuck in traffic, laters?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. At any point, that traffic could suddenly free up, because for whatever reason. And there you are sitting and blocking traffic while you're trying to text. So in order to, it's better safe than sorry. And and for those and I also understand not everybody can afford a Bluetooth headset with just the one button press, and you can have Siri or whoever say, hey, text so and so and send to this, and have it do. So not everybody has that capability.
I mean, I know on my smartphone, and probably most generations now, that I can create a shortcut text. So instead of writing I'm standing at the bus stop, I can just put buzz or whatever, and then it will type, I'll have the option to do the whole message. So theoretically, and maybe it's already as a preset, you could have stuck in traffic as a shortcut. So instead of like faffing around for 2 or 3 minutes, you could be like 30 seconds, switch your phone on, go to text, do the code, stuck in traffic. You probably could do that one-handed even.
Yeah. In fact, I think sometimes you don't even need the headset for it. Like, I'm going to test it right now. Hey, Siri. It came up.
Hey.
So yeah, you don't even need a headset for it. You know, a lot of phones are automatic with that way. At least your smartphones are. So you don't even need a headset for it.
I don't know if it does on a lock screen. Hang on. Hey Google.
Yeah, like I did mine for my lock screen. So
yeah.
So yeah.
I can do what?
You can work from a lock screen, Han. You're doing your job.
Yes. I mean, and it even works, and it'll even work when you're driving in a big truck, which is louder than your regular cars. So that's always a fun thing. Although sometimes if the timing is wrong, it'll pick up things and try and send it that way. Many a fun text has been sent that way. Kat, do you have anything to add?
Don't be dumb.
Yeah, basically.
Because, like, I think what a lot of people go is, I'm a safe driver.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't have a problem texting and driving, but the problem isn't always you. The problem is other fucking idiots.
Yeah.
You know, just because the person in front of you is decently far ahead, and then you're like, I have enough time to, like, look at something real quick on my phone, doesn't mean some fucking moron next to you, you know, is equally competent. So, you know, just try to pay attention on the road. Yeah. I mean, I've only been run off the road several times by people being dumb on the road. So, you know, just don't.
Yeah. Especially around a semi, we spook easily. Just fair warning.
Yeah.
I've 100% been run off the road by a semi.
Oh, no.
I get super nervous because I have to go over at least one bridge.
Oh, no.
In order, and then there, you know, I live near an industrial park, so I'm always going over the bridge, fucking next to a giant semi.
Yeah. But so our final story this week is actually a bit of good news, and I put this one in here because it's close to home, it's a little more personal, and we just need some good shit here. Out of Marianna, Florida. So yeah, my home county. Steve the Wicked is there. Hi, Steve, if you're listening, right into the show. But the Florida Cavern State Park is set to partially reopen Monday, which by the time you guys are listening to this in the public, it's today, after almost 9 months of repairs following Hurricane Michael. The museum, visitor center, and cave tours will be open to the public. I'm looking forward to smiling faces, park manager Jacob Strickland said. Park employees have worked almost every day since the hurricane to get the park ready to reopen. The Category 5 wind from Hurricane Michael destroyed 90% of the trees in the park, while 60% of the park buildings took significant damage. However, the caverns were not structurally damaged, thankfully, and the historical buildings built by the Civilian Conservation Corps were also spared from major damage. More than 100 Department of Environmental Protection employees worked together on June 14th to help clear mud and debris from the caverns. Volunteers used shovels and buckets to hand clear 7 cubic yards of mud and debris from cave walkways. The result was 600 feet of cleared pathway within the cave. Cave tours will be limited to a daily first-come, first-served basis and are expected to sell out quickly. Electricity in the cave has not been restored, although plans to upgrade the system are in place. In the meantime, tours will be given by flashlight, and park staff are embracing the experience. Oh God! So I'll geek out about that in a moment. It feels like the cave has returned to its natural state. Speleologist Kelly Bantus said of the caves, "I know that woman. Hi." She explained that the caves are naturally dark, and explorers originally walked through the caves with lanterns that they carried. She said that carrying a light gives an authentic feel to the tour. There's a silver lining to this, but it's buried beneath the hurricane debris, Strickland said. He said that the hurricane damage has created an opportunity to rebuild the park better than it ever has been. Now, here are some things. My first job was working at this very place, at the Florida Caverns, back in 2002. And when I was there, me and another fine arts department student, we would do lantern tours, which were like, they were later in the day, in the evening, and we would go through the caves backwards, and we would put on the role of somebody from the Civilian Conservation Corps and keep that character all throughout the tour, which sometimes is easier said than done, but it was still pretty fun. And I remember one time doing one of these tours that I saw a bat just hanging out there, and got up real close, and I was sitting there like, look at that, that's adorable. and showed it to people because it's adorable.
Yeah.
And the bat was fine. The bat just sang it was like, yeah, chilling, chilling out. And then I did like the normal day stuff too, and that was pretty cool too. Like, and it was a lot of fun. And the fact that they're doing the flashlight stuff is still cool. I mean, I'm glad that it's finally getting back to where they can actually have the tours going through again and have people coming in. And it's a good thing to see. Either of y'all have anything you want to add?
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Nah, nothing to add.
Okay. We ought to get a group of people together and go and do one of these because it is cool. And I can give Kelly a hug because I have not seen her in years. Glad to know she's still working there. She's been working there since I worked there. So yay. But with that, on that high happy note, we are gonna get out of here for this week. Oh God, this episode's already. I feel it's gonna be long, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the ride. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the ride, and hopefully you'll come back next time. But if you want to talk to us some more, Kat, where can we find you on social media?
Find me on the social medias on Twitter at LabyrinthCat and Facebook.com/NerdistCat. And if you want to hear me talk about, we'll see how many shows overlap when I record later with Josh Hadley for 1201beyond.com. Our show is What the Fuck. And then my other show is Nerd to the Third Power, which is over on YouTube and iTunes. And we just had a really interesting announcement. There's more information to come in the future, so check us out.
Nice. And Michelle, where can we find you?
Sorry, you can find me on Twitter at Phoenix11, and the same with YouTube. I have a couple of unboxing videos up recently that are getting less numbers than I normally get, so go check them out if you like wizardry stuff or you like general geekery stuff. Then you might enjoy me geeking out about the stuff I find in my mystery boxes.
There you go. And of course, if you want to find me on the social medias, you can find me on the Twitters, at the Tumblrs, and the YouTubes, and the Instagrams at Gomer21XX. I am also on Facebook under Gomer the Ranting Thespian. And, of course, you can find my stuff on rtgomer.com, which also has its own Facebook page, and its own Twitter, rtgomerprod. And this very show also has a Twitter at ThesTalk Show. I got to remember to actually plug all three of them every show, otherwise, I don't know, the world will explode. I don't know. I do need to be better about plugging those, though, as well. Of course, if you like the show and you want to help support monetarily, I kind of hinted at it a little bit earlier, but in all seriousness, patreon.com/Gomer21XX. And also, there's the Anchor support. If you listen to the show directly on Anchor, there should be a link at the bottom, or some kind of link on the Anchor site itself if you want to go through that route as well. And of course, this show can not only be found on your favorite podcast apps, thanks to Anchor distributing them that way. Just look up Thespian Talk and look up. Don't go for the old feed, which has the actual logo on it. Go for the RTG podcast service production, whatever the fuck I call it. It's the one that has the pixelated version of myself. That's the current feed. if you want to go that particular route, RTG Podcast Network. That's the one. But that's if you want to keep up on the podcast services. And of course, Thespian Talk will still get you to either one of them. So, and of course, on YouTube under Thespian Talk, which we have them all there. And of course, all of the links to all the ways you can listen will always go up on rtgomer.com, 7 p.m. Central Time every Monday, unless we just happen to not do a show. And I'll try and keep you guys updated when and if things like that do happen. And again, that one is Thes Talk Show. So I think that is all that I need to plug. I really should set up a pre-recording of all of us doing our plugs because they don't really change very much. But that's for future episodes. But until next time, this is Gomer the Ranting Thespian with Michelle and the Cat signing off.